Just getting to know you over the last few weeks, I have found your story so compelling. One that I really was just on the edge of my seat, wanting to lean in and to learn more about you and your family. Your family's pursuit in Iran caused them deep persecution. And this is what we read about, but we often don't come this close to it, like my own conversations with you. What made you and your family continue to pursue truth in and amongst the devastation and heartache that you experienced?
Yeah, thank you for that great question. So yeah, a little bit of my family background. I'm from Armenian descent, but I was born in Iran and grew up against, if you like, the backdrop of a persecuted church. It's not a comfortable place to be a Christian in that country. We left when I was fairly young. We moved from Iran when I was 7 years old. But we have retained ties with the persecuted church in that environment. And so a lot of my growing up was being really very aware of the brutal cost that was being paid and continues to be paid by many Christians. And I remember, the first time I saw my father ever cry was him announcing to our community that one of his closest friends had been brutally murdered for being a Christian. And just that was the backdrop of my growing up. And so I guess I grew up with an understanding that questions of faith are not a psychological crutch for the weak, or some comforting blanket that you wrap around yourself. It was far too robust for that. It was a do or die. It was a kind of, if this is true, then it's worth everything. If this is not true, it is worth nothing at all, and actually is very damaging and in fact evil, because people are paying ultimate costs for it. And so for me, even from my youngest memories of approaching questions of faith, I remember being very aware of this. I had, even from a young age, a real sense of, if you like, the experience of God, a sense of the presence of God, the sense of something transcendent, something more than us. And yet I was and continue to be extremely head orientated in the way that I approach anything at all, very much wrapped up in the conceptual realm. And so I remember even at the age of kind of 11 or 12, I became very focused on this question of, I have felt God to be true in my experience, and experience is a valid strand of evidence, but it's just one strand. Mm-hmm. How can I know logically, rationally, that this is true? And for me, the journey of that led me to study at the University of Oxford. I studied politics, philosophy, and economics. And genuinely, it was a decision I made at 12 that I wanted to apply for that course and study there. And my thinking was, I want to be in that environment with those people, and I want to ask my questions of faith, and I want to see, does this stand the test of scrutiny? Because if it doesn't, it might feel warm and fuzzy, but that doesn't quite cut it for me right now. So I guess if you're asking what made you pursue it, I pursued it because I came to be absolutely convinced that it was true, and then it became worth everything.
Thank you, Tanya. If it is true, it is worth everything. If it is true, it is worth everything. And at 12, which is the age of our son, you knew that truth within your heart and you wanted to pursue it.